raining sunshine. There isn't a lot of light right now, so I'm like leaning into my window to catch what of it I can. But here we are in a new day. I'm grounding down into it. Can you feel it? I think it's hard to know what to say to feel useful some days, and I hope it's okay to say that. And yet, I really believe in being of service and looking for ways to be of service, and I notice myself thinking about it a lot throughout the day. Maybe you do it too. Maybe I'm not the only one who reads news stories and thinks, is looking at the things that feel like problems to try to see, like, is anything in my skill set a fit? Is there a place for me to be of service here? I've done quite a bit of thinking about ways I could serve if I were in a different moment of life than the one I'm in now. If I had different responsibilities or fewer of them, if I just had myself to manage or things like that. And I think all of us feel pretty humbled about what it is we can offer, knowing that we're in a moment of tremendous need, and knowing that that need shows up in ways that sometimes is tangible and visible in a way that can be seen and touched or counted. Like, we need this many objects, we have this many right now, but it's also intangible, right? And often invisible, and sometimes what we need is more in the state of our own hearts. And I just keep thinking of this as being a time for reflection, but I've had to kind of back off of having that be a new productivity pressure I put on myself of like, well, as long as I have a giant revelation, and that feeling like a pressure in itself. But I do think there's something about the stripping away of so many things that brings us maybe finally to a posture that's closer to stillness or listening. Maybe it brings us to a place of receptivity, of being able to listen for what's next, when before we were just charging ahead. But what I do know is that finding anything to do to be of service to someone else, whether it's picking up the phone and reaching out, texting, sending an encouragement, writing a letter, checking in on your neighbor, anything at all to be of service is really good for the heart, and it's really good for our souls, and it's useful to maintain perspective. I really believe that. And I don't understand it all exactly. Some of it is still mysterious to me. But I know that the impulse never really leaves me. The impulse to say, okay, here I am. What do I have? What can I offer? What can I give? Even if it's to myself, even if I am the recipient, allowing myself to be the recipient more than I ever have before, allowing my children and friends and family to be the recipients, showing up here even though so many days I'm like, do I have anything that's useful to hear, to say? I do believe it makes a difference, at least inside of us, if nowhere else. So look for a way to be of service or be in service, even in a just small, gentle way. Like, you don't have to save the world, but you could put on a kettle, girl. Even that simple, gentle, manageable kind of way. I'm wishing that for you today. More soon.